Yes, hi children. So in the previous video, we have seen about the water in its form and its existence and its form which is called as hydrosphere and what is the percentage of pure water, what is the percentage of seawater in the previous video. Now let us see what is meant by surface water in this video. Rivers are the major agent of surface water. Rivers are the major sources of surface water. Land use of the area is largely determined by the amount of water flowing through it. Land use. Land use is mainly based on the amount of water which is filled. River origin from the mountain where dense forest can be found where water flow throughout the year. River origin from the mountains where dense forest can be found and where water flow. See here. These are the mountains and the rivers were origin from this place. Okay, if river originates from slopes where plantation or mixed crops can be seen. Rivers can be divided into two bases on their flow. First is perennial rivers and the next is non-perennial rivers. So on the basis of their flow, rivers can be divided into two. Perennial rivers and non-perennial rivers. Rivers that flow throughout the year are called as perennial rivers. Rainfall and melting of snow are the major source of these rivers. Okay, rivers that flow throughout the year are called as perennial rivers. Perennial. Rainfall and melting of snow are the major sources of these rivers. Rainfall as well as melting of snow, which flow throughout the year. Best examples are Indus, Ganges, Brahmaputra, or the examples which are in India. Some perennial rivers depend solely on rain, which take up its origin near the equator, where there is rainfall in almost all days in a year. These perennial rivers depend on only the rainfall. Best examples are Amazon, Nile, and Congo, or the examples in excluding India. The only river which crosses the equator twice is the Congo. This perennial river originates from the forest of Africa. The only river which crosses the equator twice is the Congo. Twice is the Congo. Okay, this perennial rivers originates from the forest of Africa. Equator twice is Congo, and yeah, which originates from the forest in Africa. All the rivers except the Himalayan rivers in India have lean flow during summers and regular flow during monsoons. Because of the rains, it will have regular flow during monsoons, but all the rivers like Krishna and Godavari, if you say in our states, the flow will be less and the water content also will be less during summers. Some part of the area water seeps into the earth, some area water dries up quickly, but not in paddy fields. But because in paddy fields it will not seep because we'll supply water for 24/7. Next is factors which influence rate of seeping or difference in the composition of soil particles. The amount of soil, the soil particles which are there on the earth surface, the seeping capacity depends on the composition of soil particles, topography of the land topography. That means presence of organic matter as well. When the water filters from the topsoil inward, it is called as infiltration. If it filters down due to gravitational pull and become underground water, it is called as percolation. When the water filters from the topsoil inwards, it is called as infiltration. If it filters down due to gravitational pull and become underground water, it is called as percolation. Water filters through the crack of rocks also. See here, these are the rocks in the previous picture. Water filters. Their difference in rate of percolation depends on the composition of soil only. The percolation rates or else the seeping content of water inside the earth's crust or into the soil depends on the composition of the soil. Okay. Next, water infiltrates and get collected in rock layers, and these are called as aquifers. Aquifers. Water infiltrates and get collected in rock layers. These are called as aquifers. These collected waters finally reach into the earth's rivers and ponds as underground water. See here, sandstone rocks. This is rock and sandstone rock soil as well as pipe. This is about the water. So there is a large study about the water. How does it form also? So there are two types of rivers. The rivers which flow throughout the year are called as perennial rivers, and the rivers which flow only according to seasons are called as seasonal rivers. Okay, perennial rivers are will be present near the Himalayan regions on the like Brahmaputra, Ganges, etc. These seasonal rivers will be like Congos, Amazon, and Nile rivers. And yeah, the rate of percolation depends on the rate of composition or the amount of composition, soil composition, which is present on the Earth's crust. This is about the water and its water holding capacity depending on the particles present in the soil.